Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, giving all honor, glory, and praises to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Right? This is Brother Nakamia back at it with another quick lesson. I titled this lesson, Be Ye Therefore Perfect, right? And I'll start off saying there's a lot of people that tells you that tell you you can't be perfect, right? But now when you open up your Bible and read, and I'm gonna jump right to that verse, right? Matthew chapter 5, verse 48. Right? When you open up your Bible and read, Christ told you to be perfect. Now, are you saying Christ is telling you to do something that you can't do? So now I'm going to get into, I'm going to deal with this perfect that people think you're not, that nobody's perfect. And my lesson is touching on that perfection, right? Read not the book of St. Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48, and it reads, Be ye therefore perfect. That's what Christ is telling you. Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect. So that is straightforward to the point. Christ is telling you, Yahweh Shai is telling you to be therefore perfect. But like I said, a lot of people is telling you that you can't be perfect. Now Christ is telling you to be perfect. Who are you going to believe? Somebody else or Christ, right? So that's the first thing. Right now, I'm going to go a little back. I'm going to go back now into the Old Testament, and I'm going to show that Christ is not the first person to tell you to be perfect, right? So now I'm going back into the book of Deuteronomy in the Old Testament, and I'm going to read Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 13, and it reads, this is Moses speaking to us, right? Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 13, and it reads, Thou shalt be perfect with the Most High thy power. See what Moses is telling you? So now that's two witnesses, Yahweh Shai and Moses, telling you to be perfect. Moses, I'm going to read that one more time. Deuteronomy 18 verse 13. Thou shalt be perfect with the Most High thy power. So now Moses and Yahweh Shai told you to be perfect. So now can a man look me in my face or tell me on the street, be upset and tell me you can't be perfect when my Bible, the Bible that we claim we believe in, is telling us we should be perfect, right? And so that's the thing right there. We can be perfect, right? And I'm going to get that another time, right? In the Old Testament. Now, I'm reading out the book of 1 Kings, chapter 8, verse 61, and it reads, Let your heart therefore be perfect with the Most High our power, to walk in His statutes and to keep His commandments as at this day. So I'm reading something out of the book of Kings that was written thousands and thousands of years ago. But the last part of that verse says, as at this day. We're talking about today, even though it was written over thousands and thousands of years ago. That part is telling you today to be perfect with our Most High, our power. And how do you do that? As it tell you, to walk in His statutes and to keep His commandments as at this day. That's how you perfect. So when somebody's telling you that nobody's perfect or you can't be perfect, that person, one or two things, ain't never read his Bible or don't know what the hell he's speaking about, right? Speaking through his ass, because he doesn't know what he's speaking about. He's given the sacrifice of fools, as it tells you in Ecclesiastes 5:1, right? So now I'm going to continue again, right? And I'm going to show you that about perfection in this Holy Bible, right? I'm going back into the New Testament. Like I said earlier, I'm going to make this a quick, short lesson. I'm getting right to the point. No beating around the bush. Nothing like that. Straight and live and direct, right? I'm going into the book of Luke, right? Reading out the book of Luke, chapter 1, verse 5, and it reads, There in the days of Herod, the king of Judea, a certain priest named Zacharias, right? Of the course of Abiel, and his wife was the daughters of Aaron, and her name was Elizabeth. So that's Zacharias and his wife Elizabeth, right? Verse 6. And they were both righteous before Yahweh, right? They were both righteous, walking in all the commandments of the and ordinance of the Most High, blameless, right? So if you're blameless, you're pretty much perfect. They kept the law, statutes, and commandments blameless. It didn't use the word perfect here, but that's exactly what it's saying. They were perfect, right? And I'll get to it another witness month. This time now it's going to actually use that word, perfect, right? And I'm going into the book of Job in the Old Testament, right? Reading out the book of Job, chapter 1, verse 1. And it reads, there was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect. He didn't say that man was all right, kind of good. He said that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared Yahweh and eschewed evil, right? That meant he kept the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So he was perfect. That's what it said, right? I didn't say that. I'm reading that out the Bible, right? And now I'm going to continue on my topic. I'm going to go. So Job was perfect. So nobody cannot possibly tell you that you can't be perfect. I just read out the Bible, Job chapter 1, verse 1, that Job was perfect, right? Now I'm going back into the New Testament again. Reading out the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 12. Silakia, chapter 12, verse 1. Silakia. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that we present our bodies a living sacrifice, holy. The word holy means separate, acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. So he's telling you doing your reasonable service to the Most High once you keep your body as a living sacrifice and keep it holy, separate, right? But that's not the point of what I'm getting at. Now I'm going to continue verse 2. And it reads, this is our brother Paul speaking, right? And he says, and he said, and it reads, and be not conformed to this world, right? Don't change to be accepted of this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh. The perfect will of Yahweh, right? And as I read in 1 Kings 8:61, it tells you to walk in his statutes and all his commandments. That's what's perfect, right? And now that's what I'm going to get into, right? Walking into, to touch on now, showing you that what it said in 1 Kings 8:61 is actually what makes you perfect, right? Keeping the Most High's laws. And I'm going to get into that, right? And I'm going to go back into the Old Testament. This is, like I said earlier, this is going to be a real quick lesson, straight to the point, no beating around the bush, right? And it reads, I'm going into the book of Psalms. So look at those Psalms. There we go. Reading out the book of Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7. It reads, the law of the Most High is perfect. So that's what's perfect, and that's what makes you perfect. Reading again, the law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul. So whenever you start keeping the laws of the Most High, it's going to convert your soul. It's going to change your soul. The word convert means to change, right? The testimony of the Most High is sure, making wise the simple. So now, it says the testimony of the Most High is pure, making wise the simple. So if you, like here in Belize, if you are what people will refer to as a simpleton, right? That's a very derogative word, right? Disrespectful, demeaning word to call someone, but people call it, right? Their own brothers that, right? And the Most High is saying, if you what is known as a simpleton, the keeping his laws is going to make you wise. That's what it says. I didn't put that in there. The Most High wrote that. Used King David to put that in there, right? We understand that everything written here is the word of the Most High, right? Not of man. So it says that the law is perfect, converting the soul, that the testimonies of Yahweh, of the Lord, is sure, making wise the simple. So you can get wise by keeping his commandments, right? His commandments will make you wise, right? Now I'm going to go into our next verse. This one is in the Apocrypha, right? Reading out the book of Ecclesiasticus, right? Because nobody can tell you that you can't be perfect when I'm showing it, illustrating on many occasions here how you can be perfect and what the Most High said is perfection. And I'm going to read it one more time. What's perfection again, right? What's perfect? Reading out the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach in the Apocrypha, chapter 34, verse 8. And it reads, the law shall be found perfect, right? I just read in Psalms 19:7 that the law of the Most High is perfect. Now it's saying here in Sirach chapter 34, verse 8, the law shall be found perfect without lies. And wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth. And wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth, right? But it says the law shall be found perfect, right? And so nobody cannot tell you that you can't be perfect, that you're not shooting, that you're shooting for something that you can't reach. Actually, if you're not shooting to be perfect, what are you really doing, really, right? What are we doing if we're not shooting to be perfect, if we're not shooting to please the Most High, right? Because the law shall be made perfect, right? And a matter of fact, I'm going to bring one more verse out the Apocrypha. This wasn't, because I was touching on that just now, right? If you're not shooting to be perfect, and to be perfect means you're doing the laws of the Most High, what are we really doing? And I'm going to read out the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 4, right? Baruch was ascribed to Jeremiah, right? And it reads, O Israel, happy are we, for things that are pleasing to Yahweh are made known unto us, right? So we know the things that please the Most High. And if we do the things that please the Most High, keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments, we'll be made perfect. So that's my point right there. We can be perfect. And anybody telling you otherwise is actually doing you a disservice. They don't want the best for you, right? Or else they will be telling you to keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments and be therefore perfect like Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, told you in the first verse I read in this lesson. Be ye therefore perfect, Matthew 5:48, right? So now, I think I'm going to read one more scripture and it'll be the last one in this quick lesson. Like I said from the jump, it was going to be a quick lesson, right? And I'm going to show you something, right, about being perfect, right? And I'm going to read out the book of Job in the Old Testament. Job chapter 8, verse 20. Reading, and it reads, behold, the Most High, Salakia, Job chapter 8, verse 20, behold, Yahweh will not cast away a perfect man. You see that? It says the Most High is not going to throw off a perfect man. He's not going to throw you off to the side. Neither will he help the evildoers. So it goes both ways with him. The same way he won't cast away a perfect man. And like I said in Psalm 19 and 7, Sirach 34 and 8, the law is perfect. So the Most High is not going to cast away one keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. The same way he won't cast away a perfect man is the same way he won't help a sinner, evildoer. And with that, I say, Shalom. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah. And I hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom.